NK Telco Sports welcomes you to our coverage of college soccer. The Otterbein Cardinals will take on the Ohio Northern Polar Bears. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: First National Bank, Keyhole Pizza, Precision Strip, Winners Meats, Grand Lake Health Systems, and NK Telco. Thank you to those fine sponsors. Once again, my name is Jeff Henshin. Alongside me tonight is Michael Laws. We have a good OAC matchup tonight, Michael. Both these teams won their first league game of the season. Both teams have played pretty good soccer, beating some pretty good teams.
Oh, yeah, definitely a great start for both teams. Otterbein currently overall 5-2-2, and as you mentioned, opened up their conference with a 1-0 win. And also the Polar Bears right now 5-4-1 currently, and they're also 1-0 here in the OAC. So both good conference starts. Right now they're on the top with John Carroll and Baldwin Wallace. and also Muskegon on the top of the table right now in the OAC. So definitely can get some separation here between them here, getting going here as the conference gets going.
Well said. The Northern Polar Bears will look to not bounce back, but build upon maybe is that big win you talked about on Saturday. Mount Union, they defeated the number 9 ranked team in the college rankings. A 2-1 victory. A big goal coming from Colby Stolf. For limited playing time, his first career goal, the game winner, a left-footed swing, and to prove to be the game winner for the Polar Bears.
Yeah, it's good to be, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and especially when you're playing a national ranked team, number 9 in Mountain Union, and definitely a great way to start off the conference schedule here and going into the month of October here for our conference.
Very well said. We're going to take a short break now for our national anthem here on NK Telco Sports.
At 10 a.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and nktelco.com. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for the playing of our national anthem?
That's why. Welcome back here on NK Telco Sports, once again to Kirschner Stadium here on the campus of Ohio Northern University in Ada, Ohio. Before we have the opening kick here to start our match, let's go through our keys to the game tonight, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza.
Yeah, for Coach Griffiths and Otterbein, it's sticking to the game plan, adjust to the ONU formation, which is a little bit different than what they're used to, and execute on their set pieces. And and for ONU and Coach Matika, just to deal with Otterbein's formation, which is very, very midfield heavy, contain Will Isaac, currently the leading scorer and player of the week in the OAC for Otterbein, and defend against Otterbein's restarts.
Well, thank you to Keyhole Pizza for our keys of the game as we are set here to get ready. And before we do that, let's go through our officials today, the men in purple tonight. Dan Sampson, Noah Matos, and James Kromerican. Michael?
Yeah, Noah actually will be in in the middle, and Dan will be on the AR along with James. So yeah, they got him flipped there. So, but it's definitely Noah Matos in the middle. So
and he'll travel up and down the field, and Dan and James will travel sidelines.
You got it. Absolutely.
They'll be offsides and touch.
They will be our touch. They'll be our touch judges and offside, and also assist Mr. Matus and anything that he needs. So, Otterbein's formation, as ONU had talked about in the keys, very, very midfield heavy. 7 listed midfielders in their starting formation, pretty much only about looking like only 3 listed defenders in the back, but only 1 listed defender in their lineup, which is number 13, Mitchell Patterson. He's the only listed defender. Everybody else listed is a midfielder or forward, so it's going to be very interesting to see how ONU deals with that formation.
We're underway here. As you mentioned, the Otterbein with the first possession. They are coached, as Michael mentioned before, in the keys of the game by Jason Griffiths in his 7th season at Otterbein. On the opposite him is Ohio Northern's head coach Chris Mateka in his 5th season as head coach. Again, we're just underway here, the first of 2 45-minute halves, and Otterbein with the first possession. There is a foul, and
did have looked like a handle there on Otterbein, so that will give the ball back to ONU on the restart and very quickly back into play.
A lot of speed on the pitch tonight as both these teams will be aggressive and try to build upon some big wins here recently for each school's program. Long way to go in this one, though, so you don't have any early breakdowns and find yourself trailing. But ball possession, and I think, Michael, just keeping your space on the field so you don't leave openings and opportunities for the enemy in this case to take advantage of it.
Definitely a lot of room here, especially at ONU at Kersher. It's one of the bigger fields in the OAC. Turf should not be an issue. Otterbein plays their home games on their football stadium, so the surface should not be an issue.
Speaking of surface, sorry that Coach Matos told me, or Mateka before the game told me this field will get replaced, I think, after the season.
Yes.
A new surface.
That's correct, because I believe it is due and get made, and I think they will add a couple of markings also for lacrosse, just using it more as a practice facility in the soccer off season, but a beautiful facility here for soccer here in Ada.
Kersher Stadium is where we're at, and it opened in 2013. As we again here are watching men's OAC college soccer, both teams 1-0 in league play. Ohio Northern, a big win over Mount Union, number 9 ranked team last on October 30th.
September 30th. Yeah, it was
September.
Just recently
Yes.
here, so over the weekend. Normally, the OAC pitches is usually you get a weekend contest and usually this midweek Wednesday contest. So usually 2 games a week here, probably for the rest of at least here for the rest of the month.
Some action in front of the net, but Otterbein able to clear it, and Northern still maintains possession, but those are the types of opportunities, and any misplayed ball or deflection could have been a near score, but Otterbein did a nice job preventing that.
Yeah, they're definitely very, like we said, a very different shape. 7 listed midfielders in their lineup, only looking like about 3 kind of playing in the back. So this is a very, very unique formation that you're going to see here from Otterbein. Like I said, only 1 listed defender in their lineup right now. Now they may change that here as the shape goes on, but tells me there's going to be a lot of attacking coming from the Cardinals here tonight.
Well, they've been doing it very well all year. The Cardinals, again, coming in with a 5-2-2 record overall, and they've been very good as well. They've won 3 in a row. Most recently over Capital 2-1. Before that, Denison 2-1, and also Hanover 2-1. So they like that score. A win's a win. It just happened to their past 3 have all been by the same 2-1 scores.
So it shows that probably with sticking playing with this formation, it may give up something, especially being kind of light on the defense. But if you get the offense to make up for it, all you got to do is have more goals than the other team. That's all you got to have. So
they're willing to take that chance, figuring if you do happen to score against us, then we're going to get you back with their offense.
Yeah. So that's definitely kind of what the formation is, at least from what I've been seeing here. I think they are basically going to say, hey, we may concede one here. This won't. It
looks to me though like that's a 4.
Yeah, they're kind of doing it more from a marking perspective here. They do have 4 in the back at the moment, but basically staying even with that line. But yeah, it is definitely when they started off, it was very, very heavy, heavy in the midfield. Absolutely.
Gotcha. Well, we'll watch and learn, and as the ball goes out of bounds, it'll be a throw in for the Polar Bears. And defending the nets for Otterbein tonight, Casey Thompson, a senior out of Grove City. He wears number 1. For Ohio Northern, Lucas Hickey out of Texas, Oak Ridge High School in Conroe, I hope I said that right, Conroe, Texas. He is a junior, keeping for the Polar Bears tonight.
Yeah, Casey Thompson, as you had mentioned, starting all 9 games for Otterbein this year. Currently has a 1.01 goals against average, 43 saves, and an 8.27 save percentage. So great numbers for him to start off here, and been basically carrying the load here for the Cardinals.
Just over 5 minutes in. We're at under 40 minutes to play first half. Hasn't been maybe a lot of any shots on goal to speak of for right now. I mentioned earlier Ohio Northern did have some action in front of the Otterbein net, but it was headed out, if you will, by the Cardinals, and since then it's kind of been back and forth between the midfield stripe.
Yeah, nothing's been really direct here. This is probably about as close as it's going to get right now.
I believe it's on the far side, maybe number 5, Ryan Parker, trying to take advantage of it. It'll be a first corner kick of the match.
And then this is what both coaches talked about is set pieces. This will, corner kicks to count as set pieces. They're mostly, dealing with the free kicks, but definitely and very, very loaded here. Almost 5 ONU Polar Bears inside the 6 right now. Very, very heavy congestion there in the goal.
A lot can happen with these, and boy, rising up high in the air is Thompson. He looks to be a rather lengthy keeper. Anyways, they don't list his height, but seem to easily extend and secure the option or the opportunity by the Polar Bears.
Yeah, I think they were trying to get some bodies in front of him. I think, Coach Matika looking at the film, maybe trying to get some congestion in there, and that's a very, very heavy 6 inside the 6 is quite heavy, and maybe trying to get some congestion here and get a deflection and get a goal here. Be interesting to see if they keep that up here on all those set pieces most of the night.
So corner kicks obviously is a stat we keep track of and is pretty critical. Do most successful teams usually earn a lot of those?
Yes, because that means you're driving the driving the baseline.
Foul, so good teams usually that have possession and are offensively minded will get deflections that go off the enemy out of bounds, and you get the corner kicks, and then it's kind of like that's when things can happen.
Absolutely, you want anything, any free kick from 35 yards and then anything dead ball throw in really shows that you're doing things well, and corner kicks definitely drive into that, and especially when you're driving the baseline and be able to get something off the defender there to create the corner that ONU did there earlier.
You maybe mentioned this to me last year. You talked about driving it to the baseline and then dropping it back.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, I want to say not the kangaroo, what's that?
The Rangoon.
Rangoon. I was close. I knew it had a couple O's in it, but you told me about that last year.
It's a Brazilian term, actually, and it's...
you drive it down and just kind of flip it back and...
Because you want to drive the defender. What you want is you want to try to drive the defender either towards you or towards the player that's coming down, so that gives you options. Either you can drive...
Nobody's offsides then, too?
Right, exactly, because you're behind the ball.
Gotcha. So you tell me when we have a Rangoon. What is it again?
A Rangoon.
Rangoon.
So we'll get that. Now here's where we're talking about the set pieces.
Yep.
Here. This is going to be a dangerous
and Nick Isaac's going to be doing it.
Yeah. So this will be very interesting here. We're about 30. It's going to be about 35 yards away. So they're going to bring the wall back. Got the spray, and he's going to mark that down there. And
10 yards.
ONU will be 10 yards away, and we'll see. If the Cardinals can get anybody here into the mix.
Well, this young man getting ready to strike it, he's approaching 100 points in his career. That ranks him 5th among OAC players right now in scoring. But 100 points in his career is, again, that distance, plenty of leg strength. People can score from there.
Absolutely. Great come up there by Hickey, able to come down with that. No issue there. And both goalies up to the task here, both on the corner kick here and on that free kick.
Haven't had many opportunities, but they haven't mishandled the rare ones they've had. And that's a good start for both keepers, because I think scoring, this tight match, it's going to be tight. And you just don't want to fall behind.
Absolutely. I think we are going to see some goals here, but it's going to be they're going to be not a lot. So we had a contact foul. Actually, that was called by the assistant referee. So free kick there for ONU.
Is that Dan Sampson on that side?
Dan Sampson will be on this side, and Mr. Kormikin here
is on the far side.
Is on the far side. Yeah. So
okay, so left-footed strikeout there by Thompson, and Otterbein Cardinals will again try to clear it and prevent the Northern offense from getting opportunities, as they can't quite clear, and it stays on Northern's or the Otterbein side. So Northern a chance here. Not a lot of numbers, but the numbers for Otterbein prevail.
Yeah, he was almost able to get that, and you're probably going to see some strikes pretty much when you get about 25 yards and in. I think they're going to let it fly a little bit.
And if you wait too long, too many bodies and too much athleticism, it's they're eventually going to take it away or shut down your window. So you got to fire when you have that slim window of opportunity. And again, I saw the kick by on Saturday that Colby Stolp hit inside the box, left-footed strike. It didn't look like it had a lot on it, but it was behind a player crossing through, and I think that blocked the visibility of the keeper, and it just scooted by him for what was then the go-ahead, turned out to be the game-winning goal. So you just got to give the ball a chance sometimes and hope for some misdirection and or sight blockage to help your ball get through. And
absolutely, yeah. All kinds of factors are involved there, and definitely there. Now we got
speed.
Now we got a good opportunity here for ONU.
Pretty good shutdown defense, though, by the Cardinals, although it does get into the box, and there's a whistle on the foul against Northern. So Otterbein hustling pays off. Too much contact, Michael, for the Polar Bears.
Yeah, it looks like it didn't like how they were getting that. So I think trying to push off and get a little bit of separation there, and that did not prevail.
Action here at the midfield stripe. And I didn't give you a chance. I mentioned the keeper for the Northern Polar Bears is Lucas Hickey. Just trying to find a good spot to maybe run down the rest of the lineup here for you. I'll run down, and Michael, you kind of help me out if I'm missing some action. But number 5 is Ryan Parker. 8 is Alex Schaefer. 9 is Will Schaefer. 13, Ryan Summerfield. 15, Brendan Gervers. 17, Sam McKee. 21, Noah Zabrak. 22, Tanner Locke. 23, Stephen Duggan. 27, Colin Gottran. And their head coach, Chris Mateka, in his 5th season. The starters for the Polar Bears. We've not had any subs yet, so I'll run down Otterbein here if there's not a lot of action going on. And their starters include Casey Thompson at keeper. Number 2 is Hayden Vu. Number 13, Jaden Lunsford. 5 is Colin Wanacre. 7 is Nick Isaac. Number 9, Carter Ely. Number 26, Will Isaac. 11 is Mark Wishmeyer. 13, Mitchell Patterson. 17, Jacob Irani. 20, Drew Holman. Those are your starters for the Cardinals. So, again, no one has been substituted in. Same rules, Michael, between women and men as far as substitutions? Any differences?
No differences at all. Yeah, you get one
re-entry.
You'll not get a re-entry here in this half. So if there's any substitution here in this half,
you're out.
They're out. Now there is some exceptions whether the injury was caused by a yellow card, and that kind of wipes that out if they want to do that.
Gotcha.
But normal substitutions, they will be out for the half, and then you get a second, you are allowed one re-entry into the second half. Okay. So it's not like MLS or pro soccer where it's a set number of substitutions just for the game.
Gotcha.
They are allowed to kind of play with that. So you might see some lineup changes here, kind of seeing how things go. And pretty deep benches for both teams.
Right now the Polar Bears working outside the penalty of the box, and there's another whistle, and there'll be a foul or violation against the Polar Bears. Give the Cardinals the ball back as we are just about 31 minutes to go first half. So we've played almost 14 minutes. And to my unofficial scoring, no shots on goals and really no shots taken so far.
Yeah, nothing really that's really threatened a goal at all. If you want to count the corner, but that really wasn't a shot. But
penalty kick. You said both. Yeah. Both the keepers came up and made the play that was necessary.
Right, the free kick and the Otterbein.
It wasn't a penalty kick. It was a free kick.
No problem. Yeah, the Otterbein free kick was there. He got a good tackle there.
Because he was making a play on the ball, that contact was ruled allowable?
Yeah, absolutely, because as long as you're playing in a safe manner and being able to play the ball, and I agree with the referee on that one, that was a good challenge for the ball. A lot of people don't want to think this, but soccer is a contact sport.
I will agree with that.
Yeah, and there is allowable contact, which is basically shoulder-to-shoulder contact, fighting for the ball, and as long as you're meeting within that, then you're pretty good. But we've had some contact here. We've had a couple of fouls in the middle with hands and such like that, and right now the referee's been on top of it. So been pretty fairly called here so far. Now we got a penetration and a shot, and just
Parker got it up there. Ryan Parker hit the through ball, and then it was Tanner Locke from Salem High School out of Michigan. His shot well off at the net, but well high and off the mark.
Yeah, I think he was just off balance, and then when you swing up, that's kind of how that ball kind of gets off there. Didn't get a lot of didn't get really a good contact with that. You really want to get good lace contact on that and swinging down, and I think he was just kind of swinging away, and that hence why the ball went off the frame.
Ryan Summerfield had a nice passer right between the wickets of a Cardinal, but no one home for the Polar Bears to respond to it on the Summerfield push or roll through. But again, Cardinals with the goal or the punt out of the goal area, and it's headed back to midfield. And again, it's been more Ohio Northern, I think, with time of possession and ball control here, but not severely an advantage one way or the other. But I think Northern does have the time of possession.
Yeah,
if that means anything.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. ONU's had a little bit more threats on the goal. It may not have been necessarily quality shots, but I definitely would feel, I'd feel very confident right now here in the first 15 minutes if you're an ONU fan, and also Coach Matika. I think relatively happy here as things are moving forward here. So right now, I'd definitely give the advantage to the Polar Bears.
Right now, the Cardinals trying to switch that around. They've held some possession here. They crossed over into Northern territory. Long way to go, and a lot of white shirts defending on this half. The ball is taken away. Some of that friendly battle, Michael, there is some physicality, but Northern gets the ball and will work it across Otterbein now.
Referee was right on top of it and had a really good view, and I think allowed that, and I think it was a good call.
There's a through ball here.
Yeah, just a little off balance there. Just could not quite get that left on it, but definitely more stuff inside the area here for ONU, and definitely a little bit more threats coming from the Polar Bears right now.
Well, the orange and black, the white shirts, orange and black Polar Bears will keep possession here and try to, again, work and find a crease, an opportunity against the Cardinals in the red shirts, black shorts. That one, again, no one home, and it'll be secured by Casey Thompson. Again, Northern's coming off a Saturday 2-1 victory over a number 9 ranked Mount Union. Polar Bears got the 2 goals from Will Schaefer and Colby Stolf in the victory. And I mentioned Stolf, that's his first in his career. Schaefer leads the team so far this year and is tied for 8th in the OAC with 10 points this season.
Yeah, those not familiar with the OAC, besides ONU and Otterbein, as we have foul and a contact there on ONU, and that'll be an Otterbein free kick. Besides Otterbein and ONU, you got John Carroll, Baldwin, Wallace, Muskegon, Mount Union, Capital, Heidelberg, Marietta, and Wilmington are the members of the OAC. So all members here in the state of Ohio.
And all in action tonight.
Yep, absolutely. Muskegon is at Marietta, and Wilmington's at Capital. Mount Union is at Baldwin Wallace, and Heidelberg is at John Carroll tonight here. So normally the way the schedule is usually a Wednesday, Saturday with these teams normally. So you normally during the conference you're pretty much going to see 2 games a week. You're gonna and hence why they allow the multiple substitutions, due to body wear and tear and. Things of that. NCAA soccer has talked in the past about, maybe splitting the season and having the games more drawn out, but nothing's come to fruition as of that yet. And so basically, as of now, sticking as a fall sport and dealing with the wear and tear on the body, and they do the best they can.
Action going on here. I mentioned earlier in the game, but for Otterbein, Nick Isaac was named the OAC Player of the Week. Now, I don't know if that's offensive or not, because Ohio Northern's goalkeeper, Lucas Hickey, was named OAC Defensive Player of the Week in his performance. So you got 2, as there's a shot and there's a nice diving save. A little bit off target was the attempt, but a diving Casey Thompson, the Otterbein keeper, with the save or the secure. But on the other side, Lucas Hickey, OAC Player of the Week for his performances September 25th through October 1st, making the first such honor in his career. And he's played in all 10 games and has a 1.20 goals against average with 20 saves. And we talk about Chris Matika in his 5th season. He's a reigning OAC Coach of the Year. So a lot of
took over
accolades.
Took over for long-time coach Brett Ridenauer, and has been in his 5th season and has had tremendous success and being able to keep up the great success that Coach Ridenauer had given up, and he's picked up right where he left off and keeping things going here in Ada here for the Polar Bears.
There was a shot by the Polar Bears just a little bit ago, Michael, during your conversation with directly right into a Cardinal. So it was direct kick, but it swung pretty hard. And I think it was on the left side. I can't tell his number. I think it might be number 5, Ryan, or maybe it was 11. Yeah, eyes are failing me. Maybe it was.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit better with the numbers as the night goes on here. The lights, it was still kind of a little bit of sun haze, so keeping us from the numbers there a little bit. But
well, we're just about halfway through the first half. The first 45 minutes, we're down to 23 minutes, 23 and a half. So almost done with the first half of the first half. Again, limited scoring opportunities for either team, but Northern somewhat has won the time of possession battle, and they will look to attack here on the throw-in and across midfield.
Nice attack. They bring that down. Couldn't quite get it on his foot there to get it down.
Got it to that area, but then could not control it to make a, let's say, a good pass or a deflection to an open teammate. Otterbein again stifles the Polar Bear threat, and back across into Polar Bear territory it goes as they'll reset.
Yeah, it's usually ONU's usually really at the top of the table, and usually in past years it's pretty much a fight with them and John Carroll for the most part, top of the table for the most part. They've really been controlling the conference, so, and that'll be one that they'll be circling here in the not too distant future. Here in a couple of games, actually, they'll have Capital and Heidelberg, and then John Carroll on the 14th of October. Nice shot.
Yep, good deflection by Thompson. I believe the shot there was by Ohio Northern's. Get his number 21.
Yep, best threat of the night. Now ONU on the takeaway.
Noah Zabrak from Cleveland, St. Ignatius High School, with a strong effort, if you will, but a nice deflection by Thompson of Otterbein to deflect it away from the goal in their game's first substitution.
So ONU will take the first substitution to try to get some fresh legs in there and try to keep this pressure up that they have going on.
28 Gage.
The first substitution, number 28, Gage Foster. First support player off the bench for either team. So both teams, yes, with deep benches, but so far have gone with basically the top 11, or in Northern's case now, the first one off the bench. At about the 22-minute mark, we're down to 21 minutes here. So, again, moving on here in the first half. As Northern takes it away and will try to take advantage of it, try to create some opportunities. A lot of red shirts back there, just the lone defender near midfield. Other than that, all 10 on defense.
I think that's a lot of where I think he's going to have the midfield, where Otterbein is going to come from, is that they're going to be able to play both ways, and midfielders are pretty much have to play both ways. So I think they're willing to take that gamble and do that. It's been giving up a little bit of pressure, but so far they've been able to hold off.
Shot deflected, or a pass. I guess that was a shot. It was deflected by the Cardinals. Kicked out of bounds, and take it back. It was kicked sideline, stays in but bounds, and it'll stay with. Well, the throw-in will go to the Cardinals. Eventually, it does go off of a Cardinal out of bounds. So Northern with the throw-in.
Trying to play it into the corner there to try to get the cross off.
And that one off of Ohio Northern, so it'll be a throw-in deep down in Otterbein territory. And So many times when I see these throw-ins, it's usually the enemy that comes up with the ball. I don't know why, but
a lot of people,
this case,
how
same thing.
important it is, and that's why coaches talk about second balls. Opportunity here for the Polar Bears.
Some action in front of the net. Somebody cleared it out, and thankfully for the Cardinals, they're able to withstand that potential threat that was hovering in front of their house. And for the time being, I've slowed down the Polar Bear action. We're under 20 minutes to play first half. Get Northern now another opportunity inside the box. Whistle, Michael, what happened?
Looks like the ball was over the end line.
Okay, so goal kick.
Yep, so that will bring up a goal kick. I believe the flag was up, so that will...
Casey Thompson will put it back into play. So we had one corner kick, and really other than that, had the free kick opportunity for the Cardinals about 35 yards away early in the half, about the same time that the corner kick was given to or taken by the Polar Bears. Other than that, it's been pretty much, I won't say non-eventful, just offensively shooting limited shots on goal.
But most of them have belonged to Ohio Northern.
Yes.
Otterbein's been kind of light. Most of the play here has been in the ONU attacking half here so far, here in this first almost half hour here.
I noticed this reading some of the recaps for the Polar Bears. It seems like Ohio Northern outshoots a lot of their opponents. I'm looking at the yearly stats. If I read this right, Ohio Northern has taken 149 shots. Their opponents have taken 85.
Does not surprise me.
So there's a lot of, opportunities. That's for Ohio Northern, just from, there's another one.
Right, yep.
One hopper right into Thompson, but 149 shots taken, 85 for their opponents. And shots on goal, of those 149, 60 on goal, and almost double up their opponents of 32. So Northern definitely has been the aggressor and more offensively minded, if you will, this season. There's a shot just above the crossbar, which is, again, how tall is the crossbar? 8 feet?
Yep.
So that one sailed a little bit high, a strong kick, and fortunately for the Polar Bears,
yep,
too high.
Yeah, I think that's where you're going to see, especially with these midfielders, you saw that Otterbein counterattack, which is midfielders moving, which is your more fit players usually are the ones that do most of the running, and we're able to create a tremendous opportunity. Unfortunately, couldn't get it on frame, but attacking that left side, catching ONU a little bit napping, be able to get a good decent opportunity there for Otterbein.
There's a whistle, and it'll be a foul.
Yep.
I mentioned Ohio Northern, their shots taken 149 compared to 85. Otterbein is outshot, if that's the right word to use, 118 to 98. Not as much of a difference between Ohio Northern and their opponents, but still Otterbein, 118 shots, 98 compared for their opponents. And on goal, very similar though, 57 shots on goal for Otterbein and 54 for their opponents. So on goal, Otterbein and their opponents are about even, but overall, Otterbein, many more opportunities.
Had to punch that out.
Yeah, that was Thompson who went up and kind of fisted it out and gets a hand up from the Ohio Northern player, and everyone seems fine. But
yeah, it looks like we had contact against either a defender or goalkeeper there, so I think they will bring him back.
For like quarterbacks in the NFL, is that correct? Once they go.
Oh, they're your most vocal. They're usually the weirdest too. They're usually the ones that are kind of off kilter, but sometimes you have to be off kilter to play. Be good.
But
be
as
a good,
far as
good
protecting
goalkeeper.
them, you're not allowed to touch them per se. Is that
when they have possession of the ball, and then there's a little bit more area, especially in the goal area. But they are kind of treated as another player as far as from contact perspective and things of that nature. But they do have certain rights, especially when they have the ability to play goalkeeper. They are the only player to be able to use their hands, obviously.
Yep.
So,
I just didn't know sometimes you're allowed to go in and battle them, or
you can battle them as long as you do it legally. But yeah, they're
same as a regular 10.
Absolutely,
okay.
Absolutely. But they do have certain rights, especially charging in the goal area is a kind of a big thing as well. So they try to, they do have a little bit of more rights just because, they do play that, position. But for the most part, I mean, you treat them pretty much just like every other player,
on the pitch. Okay.
Yep.
We're into the final third of the first half. Under 15 minutes to play, 14:25 and counting. There's a chance where, Michael, you're not allowed to use your hand when it's directly kicked to the keeper by your teammate. And that's exactly what Thompson did, as Otterbein tries to muster up an opportunity here. A foot race. We haven't mentioned number 26, Will Isaac's names much tonight. He's a threat for them. He leads their team statistically in about all their categories offensively, but he's been limited tonight. Again, he comes in with 13 points on the season. He's taken 39 shots, 17 on goal. By far the leading offensive striker, or category stat stuffer, if you will, is number 26 tonight. On his roster number is 10. I don't know if he's been 26 all year, but he's 26 tonight. So if you're looking for number 10, you won't find him, but he's number 26. Talked to him before the game to verify that he, in fact, was that number, and he said yes, he was.
Might have had
I asked if he sold it on eBay to make a couple bucks, but he didn't answer.
No, there you go.
So number 26 tonight is the offensive specialist for the Cardinals. As right now, the threat for the Polar Bears is stifled. And for Hot Northern, I would say they're leading. We talked about Will Schaefer. He leads the team with 10 points. He has 19 shots, 10 on goal, and he's that leader for the Polar Bears. And he does wear number 10 for Hot Northern, Will Schaefer.
We'll have another substitution for ONU.
Seven for ONU.
Number 7,
12 for Otterbein.
Cade Winchester in for Hot Northern, and number 12, Andrew Rudisil for Otterbein. Support players in at about the 13-minute mark. That shot carries over the netting and out of bounds.
Looks like they'll set up for another corner kick here for
So
ONU.
I missed it. Must have been deflected then. Is that correct, Michael?
That is correct. So, again, ONU will load the penalty area.
Sorry.
Yeah, ONU.
Well, they don't have it loaded like they did the last time.
Yeah, they're more at the 6-yard, and they're going to try to run in and see if they can create something.
Nice job by the by the number 20, I think it was, for the Cardinals, Drew Holman, coming up, securing or deflecting it at least momentarily out of the goal box area. And Thompson steps up again, secures it with 2 hands. And he will roll it to his teammate, and they will again go back to work on offense after they prevent really Northern from any opportunity there on the corner kick.
Another steal here by ONU, playing in.
Oh.
Find it.
Yeah, number 20 again, Drew Holman, making sure that Northern didn't get let's say, an advantage with that opportunity after they stole. I thought for maybe a second that it looked like Northern was going to have a one-on-one opportunity, as we have subs again. There's a whistle.
Looks like we'll have another
infraction. Is that a corner kick or
it looks like another
free kick?
Another corner. Actually, that will be a free kick because he's marking up as we had contact there. So this will be kind of similar to a corner kick here outside.
Kind of a tough angle.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, really almost the same angle as a corner kick coming in you without a bend. But an opportunity here for Northern to treat it just the same.
Header out. Got a contact. Can he get it down?
Shot misses wide right by the Polar Bears.
And just kind of got away from him there. Didn't get as solid a contact. And unfortunately kind of skidded off the foot there. And
it didn't look like a lot of room. I mean, it's one of those shots you hit it hard and maybe deflect in. It looked like the middle between the pipes was well defended, and the ball went where there was an opening, and that was wide right.
Yeah, you definitely, if you can do anything to at least get it on frame and then make the goalkeeper do something.
Yeah, because the pinball effect.
Yeah, exactly. You never know if you got, especially when you got numbers up front there.
Under 10 minutes to play, first half. A beautiful night for soccer here at Kershaw Stadium in Ohio Northern. One of the last warm nights we're going to have for a while, and glad we're here to take advantage of it.
Who would have thunk 80 in October? Who would have thunk it?
You know, you won't be thinking it tomorrow.
No, probably not.
Or the next days, we'll be in the high 50s. So opportunity, you take advantage of it. And then we're glad to be here. Hope you're enjoying this live stream here on NK Telco Sports. As we will, again, remind you, our sponsors include Carriage Works, Chiltex LLC, Cy Sweeterman, Dickman Supply, Elmwood Assisted Care, Hometown Opportunity, Hillsman Automotive, Kogi Plumbing, Lincoln Electric, Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, SecureCom, St. Henry Bank, and WCSM. Additional sponsors allow us to bring you college soccer OAC style tonight, as the Otterbein Cardinals are traveled here to Ada to take on the Ohio Northern Polar Bears, and we are not at 0-0. I believe these teams tied last year. Overall, Otterbein leads the all-time series with Ohio Northern by a 24-17-3 margin, including a 10-10-1 mark here in Ada, but they are 0-4 at Kershaw Stadium. So Ohio Northern has had their number here as of lately in this stadium. 0-4 are the Cardinals when playing on this field. And more numbers here. The past 10 meetings, Ohio Northern is 5-3-2. So although the Polar Bears trail in the all-time series, in the last 10 meetings, they've won or come up with a better winning percentage, 5-3-2 against Otterbein. And the two teams did play to a 1-1 tie last year at Westerville in their meeting last season.
Trying to create a contact, but they elected to keep possession. And I think Otterbein's missed that, so I think they're going to be content here, try to create something, as they really haven't had a handle on the ball here for a while.
No, they have not. It's been limited touches. There's Will, number 26, Will Isaac, and I mentioned he's there. He's ahead of the Snake offensively. It's one of the keys of the game that Coach Matika talked about, is controlling 26, Will Isaac, and they've really limited his ability to be creative. He's been able to do so with his numbers posted almost routinely so far this season with his offensive striking ability. Still another half to go, but so far he's been controlled by the Polar Bears, or not been given many opportunities. So either way, he's not been a factor as of yet. Under 7 minutes to play first half, and it will be Otterbein throw in, let's say deep inside Northern territory, so maybe they can get something started here. They've been limited on their offensive opportunities. Goalkeeper for Ohio Northern, Lucas Hickey, again, the reigning OAC Defensive Player of the Week on the defensive side of the ball, and Will Isaac, the OAC Player of the Week on the offensive side of the ball.
Otterbein pretty much loading it now. They haven't had a lot of opportunities here with anything close, so definitely quite a few players in the area here.
Carter Ely with a throw-in. A Polar Bear, though, was able to head it out. But the Cardinals still with control and have it inside the goal box now of Ohio Northern. Try to maybe kick it off a Polar Bear for a corner kick, or the Polar Bears, before that happens, will kick it out. It'll be a throw-in on the far side, but it'll belong to the Cardinals.
Probably the best offensive sequence here for Otterbein tonight.
Well, Ely threw it in moments ago on this side. He's now on basically the same spot, other side of the pitch. He'll go far off the track there to get a good running start.
I don't know if he'll do a flip or not.
He didn't do a flip last time. I thought he might, but this time it'll be a drag. And
nice long throw, though.
Headed out again. So they're much like throw-ins on the sideline. Why, if the offensive team has it, does the defensive team always come up? Or in this case, why does the defensive team always seem to have the header on the throw-in?
Yeah, it's mostly
mean,
when
there's the same amount of guys.
Yeah, the coaches talk about second balls, and that's
you mean
really
off the deflection?
Yeah, off the deflection. So
it's not a big deal. Maybe
Yeah.
if you don't get the first touch, just get the second one.
Right. That's
Someone's
you
got
know
to deaden it.
you'll hear that term quite a bit with coaches, the second ball, and that's pretty much what they want, that second ball, because they know that first touch is always going to be not as clean.
Gotcha.
and you know, throw-ins, or you know, because they can hit something, and not always the best placement on the ball. So that's why they, you'll hear that term.
Winning second ball.
Yeah, winning. You'll hear second ball,
Okay.
quite a bit from coaches, and that's kind of what that term means for the most part. So
Well, they're going to have another chance here. Again, it's hit out of bounds. And
we'll have an ONU, actually 2 ONU substitutes coming in here in the last 4 minutes.
Ohio Northern's throwing?
Yeah, Ohio Northern
went off
throwing.
of Otterbein.
Yes.
So it'll be a throw in, as you mentioned, a couple more support players in for the Polar Bears. Just under 4 minutes to play, first half. Somewhat a quiet game offensively. 2 quality teams here, coming off some early season success, some big wins by both programs as they look to build upon this OAC battle early in the season, week 2. But you hate to fall behind in the loss category, and one of these teams is, I was going to say come away with a win, but that's not true. You could walk away with a tie. You just don't want the loss.
Yeah, especially, I think it's also creating more opportunities that they're more active in the 90 minutes. Now that they've gotten rid of the overtime, you're only playing the 90 minutes, and really kind of creating more opportunities, and, kind of change the game a little bit, that you don't
sit. Before, teams would maybe lay off and just play protective.
Some would. I mean, just because you
conservative, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. You know that you would get an extra round and another round of substitutes in that, mostly the 20-minute period as it was. It was 2 10-minute halves back then, but now that they've, you only get the 90 minutes now.
Got to get it done between those that time frame.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're going to see a little bit more, maybe taking more risks, and you're seeing that from teams now that maybe you hadn't seen from a couple years back when that rule was in place.
Well, 2.5 minutes to go in the first half, under 2.5. So we'll see once if either team maybe gets a little bit more aggressive, as there's a player down as they collides, and still down. Hopefully it's just he's able to walk it off, but you can see that so many times where legs collide. The little shin guards you wear may help a little bit, but still there's a lot of action going on your shins and your legs.
Yeah, another contact. I think he was trying to get the ref's attention there to maybe think that there was more in it than it was. I think there was.
If there would have been more into it, it would have just been a free kick from back there, correct?
Well, it's still a free kick, but I think he was trying to kind of milk it for a card as well, and say, hey, I really got killed here, man. So, I don't think there was much in it, and I think the referee was on top of it.
Still, other than maybe a yellow card, a red card, it would have still been the same spot on the field.
That is correct. That is correct. Yeah,
Okay.
Foul will never change. The placement. It's wherever. The big thing that you always remember in soccer is you always have to restart the way that you ended. So, you could have a massive brawl after that, but that free kick's still going to be the same no matter what.
Now, it's Northern here trying to make something happen. Is the only time that would change if the foul was inside the 18-yard box?
Yeah, and then that would be...
Then it goes to the 6-yard line?
Yes, that would be a... if anything within the penalty area that is under the direct free kick variety, which is the 10 free kick fouls that we have, then that would be a penalty kick. But that is the only difference. If you have an IFK, that will be an indirect free kick offense, and then that would be wherever that would take place and would not be a penalty. 30
seconds to play. Right? Northern steals it. Opportunity here as time is running down. Deflected off of Otterbein and stays with the Polar Bears. 20 seconds. Moments ago, I thought the middle official, Noah Matos, almost got involved in the action. He had to spin out of it before he took contact. So as an official, you have to be alert as well. I'm sure some have been hit in action as this will wind down the final seconds. And the first half of action of OAC College soccer is in the books. We are not at 0-0. We will take a break here on NK Telco Sports. And when we come back, we will have second half action. So stay tuned. You're watching OAC College Soccer on NK Telco Sports.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
If you're a veteran, surviving spouse, or a dependent of a veteran, contact Shelby County Veteran Service Commission today. We can help you apply for a wide range of veteran-related benefits that you earned. Shelby County Veteran Service Commission. Veterans helping veterans.
We're back at Ada, Ohio, where the Ohio Northern Polar Bears and Otterbein Cardinals are doing soccer. And Michael, we're at halftime here, and with our halftime stats, take it away.
Yeah, no problem. ONU definitely dominated that first half, out shooting the Cardinals 7-1. 3 of those shots on target and on goal here for ONU. Corner kicks battle in favor of the Polar Bears, 2-0. Polar Bears 6-5 on fouls against the Cardinals. So.
And we talked about a little bit ball possession. Our stats have Ohio Northern somewhat a little bit majority there with 53% of the possession with the ball compared to 47 for Otterbein. But the most important stat is 0-0. That's what's on the scoreboard as we begin to start our second half. Reminder, our middle official tonight is Noah Matos. And the line judge on the far side is Dan Sampson. And on the near side is James Kramerican. The officials tonight in purple. And if you didn't know, Ohio Northern is located in Ada, Ohio, and Otterbein is in Westerville, Ohio. Both these schools members of the OAC. Both these schools have entered tonight's second game of OAC play, 1-0. So a lot at stake here to take a lead in the standings, if you will, early in the season.
You only get one conference game against each team a year, so you definitely want to make a statement, every year. So it's not a home and home like in basketball. You only get one bout against them every year.
So 9 league games is what you play.
Exactly, and then the next time you can meet them is tournament time, depending on how you.
Is there an OAC tournament?
There is an OAC tournament. How many of the 10
make it?
There will be 8 actually. Yep, you'll get a quarterfinal, a semifinal, and a final.
Are those at higher seeded venues?
Correct. Yes, absolutely.
Nobody, quote, hosted. It's all the higher seeds will host that game.
That is correct. Yep, and you'll definitely go through that. And most important is an NCAA bid when you're all done.
Automatic bid goes to that?
Automatic goes to bid. So you get a trip to the NCAA tournament, and ONU can definitely show that in 2012, making it all the way to the final in 2012.
Well, we're just about ready to start the second of 2 45-minute halves, and we're underway. Northern with the first touch. Now going right to left. They're in the white shirts. Otterbein left to right in the red shirts. There's a couple of back and forth exchanges as we're underway here again. Wednesday night, October 4th. Great weather here at Ada. Nothing to complain about here as we're playing under the lights.
A lot of people are asking, heard a couple of comments about where Ada is. It's about 10 miles east of Lima, Ohio. So if you want to get a map out, right off of about 10 miles east of I-75. So
Westerville down around Columbus.
Yep, on the suburb of Columbus. And if you haven't been to Otterbein's campus, beautiful campus.
Northern's a nice campus too. Very
absolutely
kind of neat time of the year. Nice scenery here at Ohio Northern. A lot of things have been retrofitted, modernized, redone. It's very, very up to date. And this pitch you're playing on now is a field opened in 2013. They're getting new surface, new tread on it after the season.
Yep, this is basically a 10-year process with the surface, and then usually every 10 years it needs to be redone. So it is due for that after this year.
Action taking place here on the Cardinals side of the pitch. Northern with possession, spreading out the Cardinals defense. They've got basically 10 behind the ball and just 1 away. So a lot of red shirts in the middle of the pitch as Northern again tries to find a crease or draw a foul. Maybe that's another way to take advantage. They do get into the box now.
And he keep it in. He does.
There's some contact, and there must have been a play on the ball as the Polar Bear goes down on some contact. Play on is the ruling, and Northern trying to make something happen. A little bit of aggressiveness down there. Nothing worked out for them, but they do maintain possession. Go back to work.
ONU definitely more aggressive.
Was that a Rangu offense?
Yes, it actually was. So
well, thank you for pointing that out to me. I was waiting for that. I don't know how to spell it, but I know what it means now.
And it looks like we got a stoppage here. And
conversation will be taking place. Clock continues to run. So right now is that Noah Matos explaining something to one of the Otterbein players? I didn't see. Was there a yellow card or anything?
I did not see a card.
I did not either.
And I don't know if he actually signaled for the clock stoppage or not.
It never did stop. It continues to run, so we're in good shape. 42 minutes, just over 42 minutes. If
it needs to be corrected, it will be later on. But
just somebody keep the time down on the field.
No, they keep up backup time on the field. So
the officials do?
The officials will. So if worse comes to worse, they will
signal up here to add time or take time off or
to
whatever.
deal with that. Yes.
Right now it's Otterbein with possession. So they'll have a free kick. Nope, it'll be a throw in. Nope, free kick just inside the touch line right in front of their bench. Otterbein coached by Jason Griffiths in his 7th season. Ohio Northern coached by Chris Mateka in his 5th season. Or Mateka. Michael, you call him Mateka?
I said Mateka. Mateka. I was corrected. I apologize.
Right.
So I was darn close, but Mateka.
I did my homework before the match, so I know all these pronunciations. But still, it's a little wordy. It depends what side of the county sometimes you live in, too, on how certain names are pronounced.
If I'm not mistaken, it's a family affair. I believe his wife is on staff here, too, as a trainer, I believe. So,
well,
I thought
right now, Mr. Mateka is watching his Polar Bears try to defend a corner kick, and not kind of an awkward. They just tapped it in there instead of going, let's say, at the action. Maybe pull the Polar Bears out and get them away from the goal, but Northern did a nice job, and they will clear it out towards the midfield stripe. Otterbein still with possession. Whistle, and it'll be a foul on Ohio Northern, so Otterbein goes down, whistle is blown.
Yeah, looks like we're going to have a...
See some purple shirts running around, yellow card.
Yep, so the clock will stop.
It stops at 40-18. And who got the yellow card?
It looks like a coach did. So
again, no other than maybe a free kick opportunity. Maybe the next yellow card, he would then be ejected.
Yes. So right now
restrictions right now.
Yeah, right now he's riding on a card. So
does he have to sit down?
No, he'll just have to behave himself the rest of the game. So
like timeout court or something.
Yeah. So he was not.
Well, he was not happy
about that. Yeah, so clock will restart on the play of the ball here. So
clock does restart, 40-18 and counting. Otterbein, again, trying to ride a little bit of momentum here, get Ohio Northern frustrated possibly, but Northern temporarily had the possession, but it goes out of bounds, and now we'll go over to in this case, the orange and white, trimmed in black jerseys for the Polar Bears. With a throw-in on the near sideline was Stephen Duggan. And there should be, play on the ball. So a good tackle or a good steal of the ball as Northern that'll be a corner kick.
Oh, yeah, that was really off there, unfortunately. But unfortunately for them, not in the goal, so that was good. But
you think he was trying just to clear it and go touch line, or just actually went off the end line then, so it's a corner kick?
Yeah, I think he was trying to cross and try to go the opposite field is what he was trying to do, and I don't think he quite got his body around it. So
corner kick for the Cardinals, and this will be their second one of the half, I believe. They had that one earlier just on the near corner. Now they go opposite side in the shadows of the corner, and right now about 4 or 5 Cardinals packed inside the box, these smaller boxes. It's headed by someone, and Northern will clear it momentarily. So Otterbein back to work offensively. Some contact, player goes down, no whistle, ball is still alive.
Really wanting that penalty. And
there's a swing and shot by number 7, Nick Isaac. Fielded cleanly by Lucas Hickey.
ONU on the attack here.
We played just over 6.5 minutes here in the second half, and it seems like the intensity, not that they weren't playing hard in the first half, just a little bit more I won't say chippiness, but just a little bit more, I don't know what the right word is here. It just seems like there's been a lot more maybe action here. Maybe it's with the fouls and the whistles and the players going down, and a little bit more contact. A
little bit anxious now. I think it's going to get a little contentious here. And
well, Northern with the ball. Shot.
And a goal!
Number 13, Ryan Summerfield. Boy, a lot of traffic in there, and he smoked it well and hooked it in, and not much that keeper Casey Thompson could do. I mean, it was in somewhat the top right corner of the net and struck very well, and I believe it was by number 13, Ryan Summerfield, at least from my
I don't even believe he saw it. I don't think if Thompson.
If it did, it was way past too late.
He was way gone. Because he didn't even react to it. I think the defender, the defender doing his job was trying to, cut down the angle, but was able to get it on that right foot and very well strike on that far post there, and puts the Polar Bears up 1-0.
And that again took place at the 37:51 mark. But struck pretty hard. Like you said, with that traffic, I don't know that Casey Thompson had much visibility. And when he did, it was too late. And I'm not so sure if he told him it was coming that he would have been able to maybe get a hand on it, because it was appeared to be high and away from him. So from where he was standing, it would have been a difficult task. So hit just right by Ryan Summerfield.
But you've kind of mentioned earlier, it's been that 2-1 score that they've been kind of used to. So I have a feeling we're not done with scoring here. And
Summerfield, that's his first goal of the season. Actually, his first shot, if I read these stats right. No, I take it back. His third goal of the season. Fourth goal. Get it right here eventually. Fourth goal. Bifocals are not cooperating. So his fourth goal of the season for Summerfield. He now has 10 points on the season. So he has helped the Polar Bears to a 1-0 lead here on his fourth goal of the season. And I'm trying to think who would have gotten the assist on that, if there would have been one, or was it like a deflection? And I stand corrected, give the assist to Alex Schaefer, number 8. So for Schaefer, his second assist of the season. And the Polar Bears strike first here in this OAC battle of undefeated teams. It's early in league play. Both teams 1-0, but Polar Bears now lead 1-0. As the clock winding down near the 36-minute mark, so a lot of time for Otterbein. But now trail to the Cardinals 1-0. These teams tied last year, 1-1 in Westerville. But it's Ohio Northern that's been very good here as of late. They're 4-0 against the Cardinals here on Kersher Stadium turf, and look to make it 5-0 here, and Otterbein trying to get their first W on this field. So now Northern will still continue. I mentioned earlier the season stats. They have definitely outshot their opponents, so I don't look for them to go conservative right now. I still think they want to play with some energy. Sometimes you get a lead, you get real conservative, and you tend to lose your focus a little bit, but I think look forward to the Polar Bears to continue to attack and try to build upon the.
They've been pressing very, very much, and I don't see that changing here, at least for a little while.
So a player goes down, and there's a whistle, and it'll be a free kick. And there's another whistle. So
yeah, looks like we got a clock stoppage again.
Card.
Yep, and another yellow card
on a player, probably, right?
Yeah, it looks like right here in the midfield. Evidently said something to the official.
Sounds like number 5, Ryan Parker.
Yeah, looks like
junior midfielder.
Yeah, it looked like it was in his direction there. So now 2 cards on ONU.
One on the coach.
One on the coach and Parker now. So both of them will have to be on their best behavior. So
just a lot more. It's like crowd noise, or whether it's the benches are getting more fired up, but that kind of adds to the energy level a little bit. And
both teams are actually both benches are standing. So ONU usually likes to stand, especially in that first part of the half, try to momentum. That's always been kind of a tradition of theirs, and just kind of show their activity. And moving forward. But
I talked about with the 1-0 league for the Polar Bears, playing conservative versus strong, as though Otterbein tries to sneak one in and get something working. They, for the moment, will not. I'm going to recap those coming into this game. Ohio Northern, 149 shots. Of those, 60 have been on goal. That's almost double their opponents of 32 shots on goal. So they've continued to kind of, let's say, play aggressive, and a lot of, let's say, officials, if you will, on the field now wanting calls and not wanting calls. Another yellow card.
So, yeah.
Is that on? That was on Otterbein.
That one was issued to Otterbein now, so they're starting to get a little contentious here. So
who on the officiating staff records the number?
It'll go into the official's notebook, but we do keep a.
Is that with the middle?
Yes, it'll be done in his notebook. He
turns that into the league then at the end of the night?
That is correct. Yeah, and that'll go on the official score sheet that'll be turned in.
Gotcha. So he has it recorded. They don't necessarily tell us everything, but they have it down on the pitch on the little notebook, you call it, and those will then be sent on to the league for their proper calculations and documentation.
Yes. Yeah, they in college there is yellow card accumulation, so you can only get so many yellow cards before you will actually you'll have to sit a game.
Okay.
So actually, it's usually it may have changed, but it's been pretty much the same system since I've been involved with the game, which is pretty much you get about 5 yellow cards, and then you'll have to sit a game, and that's pretty much
similar to like the NBA with technical fouls.
Very similar to like a technical foul accumulation and things
in the NBA. I think they have something like that.
Yes. So yeah, and it's very similar to if you watch MLS, they have yellow card accumulation caution. They call them caution points, which is basically all the cards are weighted. So if you get to a point threshold that you have to
might have another whistle here. It looks like
and we have it
taunting.
Yep, and it looks like we have another clock stoppage and another yellow card, and that one was for
just not getting out of the way.
Yeah, well, he did not respect the required distance of 10 yards.
It was more like 2 feet.
Yeah,
I did not see Matos write anything down.
He could have wrote it on the back of his card quickly. He may also have tasked that to one of the assistant referees as possible as well. So,
so someone's recording it.
Somebody is recording it.
Like I said, they don't turn and give numbers up here to the press box like they're reporting fouls in the basketball game. So it's somehow it's controlled as the Polar Bears
coming back on the attack and got some numbers.
Got to stay on side, and they do. That's something as a striker you have to be aware of where the defenders are at, because you get going too fast. If they suddenly stop just to draw you offside, that's a tactic that you basically just ruin the offense for your team. So you want to be fast, but yet you want to be smart and know where the defense is.
For those not familiar, the offside is you must be in front of the second to last defender, and the goalkeeper does count as a defender.
At the time of the touch.
At the time of the play of the ball, yep.
It's not when the ball crosses you, but it's when it's last kicked. At that time, you got to be behind the second defender.
That's correct.
Okay, kind of wordy. It's easier if you see it.
Yep.
But some subs coming in and off, it's hard for us to see them. Unfortunately, I can't to get them all announced, but I don't know who they are.
I got it mixed. I always kind of mixed it up because I officiate another sport as well, and
hockey.
I do hockey, and I always kind of associate it as a moving blue line, and it's not really the case there. Blue line's more direct, where the line moves with that second to last defender.
Gotcha.
But it has to be, it's once the ball is played. So once the ball is played, you can go anywhere you want as long as you're on side of that play of the ball. You're good. So
shot there by Ohio Northern's Brendan Gervers was picked up cleanly by Thompson. As that was a direct shot on goal, but a clean roll, and boy, making a dive there was Hickey. He maybe got a piece of it. Behind him was number 26. We haven't said Will Isaac's name much tonight. He's our leading offensive performer. He almost had a chance. And did you think Hickey got a piece of it?
I believe he did. So,
enough. Luckily, Isaac was right there for an uncontested layup, if you will. Would have survived.
Would have been tremendous opportunity, and now you're definitely going to see, especially the attacking of what Otterbein, as I had mentioned, really kind of very top-heavy in the midfield, trying to push the numbers forward. You're going to see a lot. I think you're going to see a lot of trying to go towards goal, especially now being down 1-0.
A whole lot of action right there. I'm not for sure which. It was directed to the goal. I don't know if it was a polar bear that deflected it, but boy, had bodies flying left, right, and then there was a Cardinal in the area that was waiting for the, let's say, the rebound. It didn't quite get to him, so the Cardinals attack.
Way I'm seeing this action, I will be surprised if we end 1-0. I will be very surprised, but
I'll expect some bodies to go at it then, because it's going to be fast and aggressive then. As it just the pace and let's say I won't say the chippiness, but yet maybe the attitude has changed a little bit.
We're getting a lot more aggression now.
Yeah, it was more contact, yellow cards.
We were kind of filling each other out in the first half, and things are starting to pick up here. Business is about to pick up here in the last 30 minutes here.
Well, we're at 28:53, clock moving. 1-0 is a score that came here in the second half at 37:51 mark by Ryan Summerfield. He's from Dublin, Ohio, Kaufman High School. And that goal for Summerfield, again, I believe was his 4th of the season. It gives him 10 points to tie Will Schaefer for the lead in points. And the assist was from Alex Schaefer, his 2nd of the season, for his 4th point of the season. Again, now Otterbein with the ball and trying to, again, get creative and aggressive. Left-footed shot headed by a polar bear. Ball still loose. It's cleared out here to the near side. So Gavin Marshall, number 4, support player, into the ball game with it here on the left side. This is Marshall now with it as he's being attacked, and there's a whistle. And I thought he went down on his own.
Yeah, referee didn't.
Whoa.
Now we got some contentiousness here, and now I'm a little. Yep.
Yeah, there's gonna be some action.
We've got some cards coming here. Cards out of the pocket, and
the clock stops at 27:48. I missed the contact. It looked like with Marshall and an Otterbein player. I think it's all this. I didn't mean to get in your way, but you did, so I'm gonna lay you down.
Yep. So the card to number 2, and that was for the play after the foul was called on ONU. That was pretty much for the push down.
I do see right now James Kamarican down here on the near side writing stuff down. So I think he's getting the penalty information, recording it, and got a little, like I said, it's just a little bit more chippiness here as contact is a little bit more aggressive, but I really felt the Otterbein player kind of went down on his own.
Yep.
But from the angle of the official, it maybe looked like contact, and maybe he thought he saw contact. So it's a lot of teams trying to take advantage and get an opportunity when they can.
And they're but he called that. But the yellow card was for the contact afterwards, and that was definitely a good card, and definitely could have been worse, but thought was dealt with very calmly there by the referee, and just will add to his end of the night reporting.
Yeah, a little bit more. He's gonna have a long list.
Yep.
And we've had.
He might get writer's cramp here when we're all done.
I don't think they write anymore. I'm pretty sure they type things now, so it might be typer's cramp.
Yeah, he could be getting typer's cramp when he has to fill out his report later.
Something was written was back in the 80s, I think. But there's a foul. No yellow card on that one. Again, some contact as players inadvertently get in the way of each other.
Yep.
Now what?
Now we got another one.
It's just like people walking in path of each other and just kind of bumping each other a little bit. And
that one was to number
4, maybe?
No, that actually, I believe it was actually to an ONU player, I believe.
Well, okay, so our ONU gets to keep possession?
Yeah, because the play had already been stopped.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't let you lose possession. You just get a card and...
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So the foul was already called, so...
Well, now Matos is writing something down as well. Yeah. So I don't know who's keeping track of...
Looks like, I believe the card was issued to number 6, Grant Israel. The 6'2", 175 sophomore midfielder from Canton, Michigan. Evidently, he was in the way of something or said something to the referee. So
Will Schaefer put it into play. And the attack there will be wide right and out of bounds. Goal kick coming up for the Cardinals. Under 27 minutes to play, and a very, again, entertaining battle here between these two 1-0 teams in OAC play. Ohio Northern 5-4-1 overall. I mentioned they got that huge win over number 9 Mount Union. That's not the first ranked team that they've played this year. Earlier in September, they beat the number 25 North Park out of Illinois 2-1. Before that, they lost to North Central out of Illinois 3-1. They were ranked 20th. And earlier in the season, Ohio Northern played on the 8th of September. Calvin out of Michigan lost 0-1. So they played a pretty aggressive, a pretty top-rated schedule, if you will. I was able to win a couple of those matches and come in with a 5-4-1 record. And Otterbein 5-2-2 on their season.
Another loss they had was a very well-acclaimed Ohio Wesleyan squad, 1-0 down at Ohio Wesleyan. Long-time fantastic program there out in Delaware, Ohio.
And Otterbein, is there some action? A header.
And a score.
That was a header action, number 12, maybe?
Finding it on the far post, and it's just fantastic finish there.
Well, it didn't take long as we anticipated a score at the 25-20 mark. Andrew Rudisil. Rudisil is the recipient of the header into the right top of the corner. Again, not much the keeper could do in those type of plays, as it was headed, if you will, just out of the reach of Hickey. And Rudisil scores the tying goal here for Rudisil. Look at his numbers quickly. That is his first goal of the season. He's had 7 shots. 2 have been on goal, but that's his first goal of the season for Andrew Rudisil of the Otterbein Cardinals. And that ties it up here. Clock runs again, just over 25 minutes to play. And I'll get the assist here in a second. The assist went to number 25, Patrick Ahrens. See, there's a name that's orange in my neck of the woods.
Absolutely.
Ahrens. So Patrick Ahrens out of Cincinnati, Ohio, St. Xavier High School with the assist.
Trying to beat him on the dribble there and went off an Otterbein defender and will create a corner kick here for the Polar Bears. So
for Ahrens of Otterbein, his first assist of the season to go along with a goal. So he now has 3 points from the season. And Andrew Rudisil, his first goal, his first 2 points of the season for the Cardinals.
Freshman out of Pataskala, Ohio, was Rudisil on the goal. Now in swinger here for ONU, header. Getting his head on that, number 21 for the Polar Bears, Noah Zebrick.
And Pataskala's drive through that way on 70 to get to West Virginia and Pittsburgh, and that's where he's from. He went to Connections Academy High School, is where Rudisil, a freshman, is from. Pataskala, Ohio. The only reason I know that's back in the 80s when I went to Ohio State. Tony White was from Pataskala, Ohio. Member of the men's basketball team and located just outside of Columbus. As Otterbein now with the possession on the near touchline. 23 minutes and 30 plus seconds to go here at Ada, Ohio. Again, just north of Lima a little bit. So we're underway here. Is good match so far.
Played out there by the Cardinals, and then that will create a substitution opportunity here for ONU.
These two teams tied last year 1-1 at Westerville. And again, Ohio Northern trying to remain perfect on this pitch here at Kersher Stadium. They're 4-0 against Otterbein, and also 5-3-2. The last 10 meetings are the Polar Bears against Otterbein, so they're looking to extend their winning ways after suffering some defeats early in this the season series, which Otterbein leads 24 wins against 17 losses and 3 ties. Otterbein leads the series 24-17-3. Left-footed strike.
Oh, that
post.
That could have been an own goal, and that could have been real trouble there.
So that case, Gavin Marshall would not have gotten any credit for it?
That is correct, because that would have been on goal because it wasn't a direct shot. It was a deflection, so that would have been counted as an own goal.
His pass was deflected almost.
Absolutely,
just like your own basket in basketball.
You got it. Outswinger. So got a body on it. Can he keep it in? No.
So Northern there, a couple opportunities that look like on the strong kick. And one thing is maybe a little bit different from the women's game we saw. The men's game, seems like a lot of players have strength to get it from the corner kick to above and past the goal box. So everything is I'm just saying the overall strength factor. Everything is a reachable goal shot.
For
I'm
sure.
saying that they can't in the women's league, but I'm just saying it seems like every player here can. Even a 35-yard penalty or the free kicks are scoreable with the leg strength, and that's maybe the only difference I've noticed in the two games you and I have done between women's and men. Otherwise, there's nothing different, you said. So between women and men's, there's a lot of bodies going down, as that was not a play on the ball. There's a lot of finger pointing, and
he's calling a foul back. Referee will bring it back. He had contact on an earlier foul. Did not see the continuation. I think there was a lot of confusion because there was contact there, and ONU thought it was on that contact, and he was going back to the original play here. So he brought it back, not feeling that the advantage had materialized.
There's a kick down inside the box. Otterbein trying to take advantage of it. There's a lot of white shirts in the box. And for the moment, it'll be a touch in on the far side in favor of the Cardinals.
Yeah, the Cardinals will be throwing, with their, very midfield heavy lineup, I think, definitely trying to throw numbers forward. Right now, getting outshot 12-3 overall right now. And overall, but the one shot didn't go in. Not getting a lot of shots, but are going to try to create whatever they can here.
Boy, every time there's a play, there's like 22 officials on the field, all screaming, pointing what they think the call should be. And in the case of what we're watching here, there's only one guy that has that official call, basically, and that's the guys in purple.
Yeah, it takes a lot, especially, I don't think they realize, how much work goes into, especially at the college level. I mean, there's a lot involved in that. There's a lot of training. There's a lot of fitness. And
you had mentioned that earlier. It's not like just walking into Diamond buying a fishing license. You have to actually
there's a lot of training and, application process and, training and stuff like that. And the officiating crew we've got tonight's got does some professional soccer. So not too worried about what we got going on here tonight.
Well, the strike there was taken by Ryan Parker. It was
nice strike.
Yeah, another one. I think it was by number 15, Brendan Gervers. As Otterbein in the way, if you will, of both of those shots. Maybe it wasn't Gervers. It was 17 possibly. Sam McKee, as again, there's a whistle and bodies on the ground. So Otterbein now with possession as they again try to attack, but Northern able to step in, steal it momentarily. 18 and a half minutes to play.
That's some numbers going forward here.
Some fancy footwork, but boy, a lot of red shirts. But we saw earlier, it doesn't take a big window. You don't need a huge window. Just got to get it through as falling on the ball to prevent any type of attack as Casey Thompson.
Trying to create that Rangoon again and trying to cut back to around the penalty spot, but Thompson was able to read that very well and take control of that.
So kick there by Thompson, right into the possession, if you will, of a Polar Bear, but a header is kicked back, and again, free ball, if you will, was run down by the Polar Bears, and keep away now as Cardinals, though, aggressive, come in, strike it or take it away, but again, Northern not able to clear, and here's a chance for Lunsford.
Putting it across, but that'll go over the end line and get a goal kick in here.
Coming up, the substitutions for the Polar Bears. Clock running, 17 minutes and 10 seconds. As we want to remind you again, tonight's broadcast is brought to you by First National Bank, Keyhole Pizza, Precision Strip, Winners Meats, Grand Lake Health Systems, and NK Telco Sports. I want to thank these fine sponsors allowing us to do this. And tonight it's college soccer. OAC, as there's a
clock
stoppage. So it'll stop with 16:49. This is not what you called it a safety timeout, is it, Mike?
No. I think he was having a conversation with somebody here. So
well, the clock is wound. The clock will start on the first touch.
Yeah, it'll start. Clock will start on the touch of the ball. So even though the whistle had blown, clock is not running yet. It will start here on the kick of the ball, and it did. So that is one thing. A little different than regular American football is you'll see the clock start on a whistle sometimes, depending on the situation. But in this particular case here in soccer, it's when the ball is moving. So he may have blown the whistle to restart play, but the clock.
It just meant everyone were back ready. So as soon as it's touched, we're back to live action.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a little different here in college soccer. You know, that's not the add-on time like you see in the pros. You know, it's kept on the clock, you know, and managed, and it's managed a certain way, and the situations that manage it, and you know, what situation dictates when, you know, the clock is stopped and such, goals and cards and such like that. And then basically when the clock hits zero, everybody knows that the half will end or game will end.
1-1 the score here. Both goals scored in the second half. And we're getting down to crunch time again. There is no overtime. So at the end of the next 15 minutes or so, it'll be the final. So right now both teams have come up with some opportunities here in the second half. We've seen a lot more yellow cards issued here. And there's a cross ball that will be one-handed save. Nice leap and grab by Casey Thompson. Didn't see any other white shirts around, but he fielded it clean to make sure no carom or rebound gave the Polar Bears a chance.
Nice overlapping run to try to create that. Now Otterbein with the back in control.
And it goes all the way back to Thompson. And one of again, number 26 for Otterbein, Will Isaac. Haven't called his number much. I haven't seen. That's him with the touch right there. And just a key player offensively for them. Polar Bears have, either by design or by luck, kind of kept him out of the equation. But
just from what I've seen, I think they've handled it very well. I think they've stuck with their game plan and really kind of got him out of the mix and out of the equation. And what ONU's been doing defensively has been really good. They've been getting numbers back. There really wasn't a lot of threats from Otterbein in the first half. And as you can tell by the shot total, I mean, the shot total right now is 14-3 in favor of ONU. So, you know, that's definitely not, you know, from that perspective, ONU's got to be very, very happy. Now they got to cut into this 1-1 tie here, try to take the lead back.
Well, they definitely have ball control now as we're final 14 minutes of action. They'll try to methodically and yet under control work it into scoring opportunity. They do get inside the box now, and that pass is picked up again cleanly by Thompson. So if he doesn't field it cleanly, a lot of opportunity can be created for the Polar Bears, but Thompson does a nice job securing. I won't call that a shot. It looked more like a cross-through ball or pass.
He's been controlling the box pretty well tonight. Like I said, the goal, he really just didn't have any vision on at all. I mean, that really wasn't anything that he did.
I agree. It was struck very crisply, very solidly, and there was a lot of bodies in there. I think by the time he saw it, it was too late. And much like the goal that Otterbein got, I don't know that Hickey could have done much. It was a header that kind of was scored in the top right corner. Not a whole lot of, it wasn't like he mishandled it. It just was not able to be touched and was a bang-bang play. Put back into play by the Cardinals. On the far side there, head coach for the Cardinals, Jason Griffiths, in his 7th season. Next to him on the Ohio Northern side, Chris Mateka in his 5th season as Ohio Northern head coach.
And getting still a little contentious here.
I didn't, there for a while, it felt like really chippy, like you could almost see something almost like break out into more than what you wanted to. But now it's kind of, I think, slowed down a little bit as far as the body contact and the
score has really done that. If one team had gotten a couple of goals up, I have a feeling this could have gone way, but I think, they see the opportunity to, one of them could win this game and try to keep their head here, and they want to try to keep 11 players on the field for their team. I think they're kind of settling in here and try to create something here, as ONU is trying to do right now.
I believe that was number 10, Will Schaefer, with it. And again, he came in as Ohio Northern's leading scorer, and we haven't called his name a whole lot either tonight.
Yeah, it's been a lot of role players here for both teams, actually. Just like, seeing the scouting reports, and just like you said, it's been coming from those, second and third, wave of players there.
Well, and it took last week when Colby Stolp hit the game winner against Mount Union. I mean, that was his first goal of his career, and that was a player, that you don't maybe on a scouting report know how much about, but he came up just inside the goal box with his left foot, hooked it around, again, a player that maybe the goalkeeper had his vision blocked and was able to score it in the left corner of the net for the game winner that turned out to be the game winner against Mount Union. So even though you've got your leaders, there's a lot of people on the roster that can make plays when they've been given the opportunities.
Yeah, definitely a lot of depth on both teams, especially mostly that second tier, at least with ONU's. A lot of them are, the more the underclassmen, a lot of very heavy on the junior and senior on the ONU side. And I think Otterbein playing with that, trying to get more of the, the senior, the group that's been here longer. And especially with everything you're playing through with the COVID year and whatnot. You're definitely dealing with a lot of, some, maybe an extra year of eligibility and, getting that extra year of play that you may have lost here a couple of years ago.
Not to make a huge point, but off on the far side of your screen is number 26. He's walking out of bounds up back to his teammates' bench. I didn't realize he went off, but he's not on the pitch right now. That's number 26, Will Isaac. We'll see once he's allowed to re-enter, as you talked about, Michael, correct? Even if he went off?
That is correct. You can use a substitution for that, or Otterbein can elect to play short, which I don't believe they did. And then he can re-enter at any time. But if they're playing with 11, then they can use that as a substitute and bring him back into the game, since they had not used that on that particular case.
There's a whistle. The arm parallel to the ground as a direct kick. So a foul against the Cardinals. So Northern here a little bit farther than 35 out. So maybe not a high percentage attacking position, but they're going to give it a chance here with number 15, Brendan Gervers.
I think they're going to try to find somebody's head here, deflecting here, probably inside the area. I don't see it as a shot, but trying to find that as a deflection. But
ground ball was
got cleared out. Yep.
Well, the keeper way out of his house. Will hustle back as Northern regains possession, and the one hopper a little bit higher. You have to be careful as a keeper. You don't charge it too much. Some of these fields have a lot of spring, but again, the lengthy Thompson able to back up quickly, avoid the overbounce over his head, and have yet another save opportunity. He's been pretty clean tonight. Haven't seen either keeper really mishandle anything, as Hickey will have a easy two-hopper into his midsection. Again, fielded cleanly.
Solid performances from both goalkeepers tonight, as you mentioned. Neither goal, it really, any fault of theirs at all. I mean, just good plays by both teams. You know, ONU on their finish, being able to, you know, find the opening, and Otterbein on their header.
Under 8 minutes to play. There's a battle down near the end line. And that one will be...
Looks like a throw.
Touch line.
That'll be a throw in. So be a deep throw in for ONU. And we got some substitutions here coming in for actually both teams. 2 substitutes for ONU and 1 for Otterbein.
2 for Otterbein.
Actually, yeah, they did throw a second in there. I do apologize. A little dark. That red's a little dark here. It's hard to see that second player, but yes, you are correct. So let's start getting down here to the nitty-gritty here. We got about 7 minutes left here, so. And a deep throw in here for the Polar Bears.
Throw in was done by number 22, Tanner Lockie. His cross ball was headed out by the Cardinals. That one shot taken by Parker, deflected off a Cardinal, cleared by a Cardinal, and again, action right around the net section. There's a blindside pick almost, it looked like. It looked like the Cardinals basically stood there and took a set of screen.
Yeah, it looks like we got another clock stoppage. And now another card issued.
I think a Hot Northern was upset. I don't know if it's legal, but there was a Cardinal that kind of stopped and set a screen, and the Polar Bear player ran into him, and then shortly thereafter there was a yellow card. So I don't know if that was part of the energy or the excitement between the players that was a resulting, but a yellow card against Northern.
So yeah, definitely having to kind of keep control here tonight, and been very, very busy, but and now a kind of a dangerous free kick opportunity here for Otterbein.
Ball is put into play, and somehow finding his way through a bunch of people. Lucas Hickey came up, and a lot of bodies. He was able to extend and come up with, again, a clean two-handed grab. Really no opportunity for the Cardinals. Good job by Hickey, maybe gambling a little bit, but it's like he wasn't defended or blocked by anyone. He was able to go up cleanly and get it. That's why I didn't know if there was some restrictions on what you're allowed to do with a keeper, or did he just magically work his way through?
Oh, he had to find it. I mean, they're entitled to that space, and no Otterbein player really did anything to keep him from it. But he had to work his way around the bodies and tracked it very well.
Away, we had to make the play because the net was open. If he doesn't, so the good play by the Polar Bears. Now a free kick for the Cardinals, and again we're tied 1-1. That was the same score last year at Westerville. And we're sitting on that right now with 5 minutes and 35 seconds to play in this OAC men's college soccer match.
This will be very interesting also, especially if they any more substitutes late. There is no clock stoppage. Normally with the team in the lead there, stop the clock in the last 5 minutes, and that is not the case, and we have a tie game, so that clock will still be running. So I'm wondering how many substitutes we will have here in this last 5 minutes.
Some action now as Hickey's away from the net. Action for the Cardinals. Hickey's back now between the pipes.
Numbers back, and they get it.
And a shot
deflected.
Missed.
Was it deflected? No, it wasn't. It went out.
That might have been number 26 right there.
But yeah, that just did not hit any ONU player at all and went wide right.
I think the strike was by 26. If that is, that's Will Isaac. He's back on the. Then it is. So he's back on. He took the shot. One of the leading scorers. He probably doesn't miss many of them. But boy, some risky play there by the Polar Bears, as it looked like, as the keeper was out, and momentarily the Cardinals had an option or an opportunity, just maybe couldn't get good control on the ball, and ultimately the attack by Will Isaac off the mark.
Felt very secure there. I think ONU had a lot of numbers back.
I agree with that, but I still think when your keeper's away, not between the ball and the pipes, and all the action that may happen, you're relying on your defense to deflect it out. I agree, but I think, wow, It just seemed kind of pinball action. You just didn't know what to expect. And more times than not, probably nothing, but it just takes that once or twice that, the ball can go through as there's contact. And there's a collision. It looked like both players were going for the ball, and foul will be called against Ohio Northern.
And Otterbein will get the free kick there.
3 minutes, 35, clock running. At what point do they, I guess, do you, with it tied, do you really change your pace of play? Or
no, you're gonna let it hang out, especially when you're in your attacking half, especially.
Just seems like the urgency, like the 2-minute offense. When does that start? Where you go fast and don't waste time getting the ball thrown in or put down to be put in play on a free kick. We'll see once here if I can pick that up. It just seems like we're at 3 minutes now. These teams have got to get moving quickly. As right now the ball goes off of Otterbein, so the Polar Bears will attack. Limited chances left for either team here as we're under 3 minutes to play. Tom Simmons, the athletic director, helping us with the ball right there. He's in the action. Through ball.
No, great. But through ball, try to find it.
It was. It had a Polar Bear there. I think it was number 14, Nolan Shermer, but he could not come up with the pass, and Otterbein now takes it away. Again, limited chances for either team left here to try to bust the 1-1 tie. It was 1-1 last year at Westerville, and we're 2 minutes away from it ending 1-1 here as the ball goes through, and falling down on it left of the goal box or left of the net is Hickey, and under 2 minutes to play. Hickey will roll it forward and strike it down the field, and that will go out of bounds. So clock running. And it'll be Otterbein throw in. Do you say sometimes the clock may stop for subs?
It depends. Well, normal by rule, it's supposed to be if you're a team in the lead and you sub in the last 5 minutes.
Stalling?
Right, correct.
Okay.
So, but right now, since the game is tied, that will not. The only time it would stop is if it's a stoppage that excessive that the referee would deem, and that would be completely his call.
So right now we're just 60 plus seconds away. There's a foul.
Yep.
Some contact from behind.
So ONU is going to get a chance to try to put something here in the mix here in the last minute.
Like right now, it's like clock continues to run. Keeper will strut up Lucas Hickey. He will try to put a leg into it. It's one of the few chances maybe pass deflection can help here.
I'm not sure what that was.
Miscommunication.
Yeah, I think that was definitely a miscommunication. And
30 seconds. And
it just did not go well any way that ONU wanted that to go, unfortunately.
This has a strong makings of a 1-1 tie. 15 seconds, and the ball is still down here on Otterbein's for the goal kick. The final seconds are counting down unless something can happen here in a few seconds. We're going to be knotted, and that's how we will end the final here at Tertiary Stadium in Ada, Ohio, on the campus of Ohio Northern University Polar Bears. Is Otterbein 1, Ohio Northern 1. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll recap this match and give you our final game stats here on NK Telco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
The Hometown Opportunity Platform is exceptional.
It is focused, laser focused on the careers in our 4-county region.
100% of the time we go to Hometown Opportunity. We've had great success from a handful of applications when we need them, as well as a recent one where we had 67 applicants.
Honestly, it's a competitive advantage.
The Hometown experience has been everything I could have dreamed of and more.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
We are here and here and here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Welcome back to Ada, Ohio, here on NK Telco Sports, where the Otterbein Cardinals and Ohio Northern Polar Bears have tied tonight in men's OAC soccer, 1-1. The score for the final game stats, Mr. Michael Laws.
All right, final shots, total shots for ONU was 15, for Otterbein 6. Shots on goal for ONU was 5 and 3 for Otterbein that were on goal. Corner kicks were 4 for ONU and 2 for Otterbein. Total fouls, ONU had 17, Otterbein had 11. 4 yellow cards were issued to ONU and 2 yellow cards issued to Otterbein. Our final scoring summary was the ONU goal took place at 52:08 on the goal by Ryan Summerfield, his 4th of the year, on an assist from Alex Schaefer, and the Otterbein goal was scored at 64:40 as Andrew Rudisil with his first goal of the year on an assist from Patrick Barnes. And that is how we end tonight.
Well said. Looked like on the paper, Northern maybe dominated the match, but the stat that matters most is the final score, and that was 1-1. So again, Northern outshoots, targets the shots on goal, but in the end, it's a tie, 1-1. So, you know, with that, these Otterbein will go to 5-2-3 overall, and 1-0-1 in OAC play. Ohio Northern's record will go to 5-4-2 and 1-0-1 in OAC play. So, long way to go, but competitive match. We figured it would be tight. We thought maybe a little bit more offense, and I felt like things were firing up in the second half.
Oh,
It
yeah.
just turned out to not materialize, but the effort was there throughout, and I think that's what happens when you get two good teams. It's just hard to score.
Oh, yeah. ONU was, I think, definitely felt more confident. I think, if you're, really tracking the possession, definitely favored ONU, but, if they didn't go in and, you got to get them on target, and when you got two good goalkeepers here, definitely handled things well. Both goals really not coming off of anything, a lot of misdirection, kind of handle that, and that's the way we handle it, and we've got a long way to go here in OAC play here come to the end of October.
Well said. And that will, again, wrap things up here from Ada, Ohio at Kersher Stadium. I'd like to thank our film crew tonight, Mark Fissel and Jim Miller. Also, our director tonight, Austin Ambergy. And for my partner, Michael Laws, my name is Jeff Henson. We hope that you enjoyed this telecast of college soccer here on NK Telco Sports. And once again, your final score, 1-1 tie between Otterbein and ONU. Thanks for watching here on NK Telco Sports.